Hello guys and happy new year. I know it's that time of the year. Most people will be applying to schools that they've been aspiring to go to, and those who have schools that they are looking at possibly will be starting to apply for their Canadian study permits. So in the beginning of this year, what I'm going to do is at least try to answer most of the questions that I've had people reach out to me over the last couple of months with, because I believe some of those things that we shared with those people, others can also benefit from them if shared on this platform. One topic that I've had a lot of people reach out to me on, especially when they found out that I'm attending a college in a university, is trying to understand the difference between a college and a university. And as somebody who has attended universities and also currently attending a college and graduated from a college, I think I'm better positioned to at least share some knowledge with you, because knowing the difference is going to be crucial in this journey that you are trying to undertake. And also knowing the difference between these two will help you make an informed decision when it comes to your educational and career goals. So let's dive in. The first thing that we'll be looking at, we'll be trying to clarify and also define the primary focus of both universities and colleges so that you can understand where the difference lies. Colleges in Canada primarily focus on career-oriented program, technical development, and hands-on developmental skills. They mostly offer diplomas, certificates, and sometimes degrees in areas like applied arts, business, technology, health sciences, and sometimes trades. However, universities in Canada emphasize academic and theoretical knowledge, research, and a broader range of programs. They offer undergraduate and graduate programs, that is bachelor's, master's, and doctoral programs across a wide variety of disciplines. So the main difference that you should know when it comes to these two is, whilst colleges are focusing on practical knowledge and training that will at least put you straight into the working environment, the universities focus on at least empowering you with theoretical knowledge to be able to at least work in the academic environment. The second difference that exists between these two is also the duration and the structure of their programs. Generally, programs in colleges are shorter in duration. They can range from a couple of months to just over a year or two, and they are often more structured towards a hands-on approach with focus on practice and work placement. On the other hand, programs in the university normally will range from between 2 to 4 years, depending on the type of program that you are taking, be it a bachelor, master's, or even a doctoral program. And most times, programs in the university are more academic and research oriented because they try to teach you a wide discipline of that particular course, as opposed to just focusing on a practical aspect of it. This does not mean that if you decide to attend a university, you are not going to get the practical aspect of it. But what I'm trying to say here is, with colleges, they just go straight to the point, trying to understand exactly what you are trying to do. So instead of just giving you a wide discipline, they try to push you to the exact area that you are trying to get to when it comes to that particular program. The third difference between these two comes down to the entry requirement and the admission process. And trust me, understanding the difference between these two is going to be crucial when it comes to getting admission into one of these two. Because sometimes you might not be qualified to apply to a university, but your qualification might be able to get you into a college. And depending on what your career goals are, you can just apply to that college and get the admission. For most colleges, you realize that the admission requirement is basically your high school diploma or sometimes some work experience in that particular area to be able to get you into the program. Even though you might not have studied undergraduate in that area, or your previous studies might not be in that particular course, because you work in that area, they might be able to at least accept you into that program because they believe that you have a basic knowledge in that program to be able to be successful. And one thing that every admission coordinator looks out for is whether the candidate that they accept into the program is going to be successful. So even though they might be asking for a diploma, they will check to make sure that your background is strong enough to be able to be successful in that particular program. So sometimes the admission requirements for a college might be less competitive and it will be more accessible compared to a university. So if your career goal is not in the academic area, then my advice is maybe you have to start looking at a college that might be offering the same course that you are aspiring to. On the other hand, universities tend to have a much more stricter admission requirements. And it tends to be very competitive because it's academic and more research oriented. And even though For some programs, they might just require your basic high school diploma. They tend to have a specific preset requirement for you to be accepted into that program. So most times, if you are coming from, let's say, an African country where our high school, we are judged based on what we call the WASI. If you don't have a particular grade, you will know that your admission application might not even get a second look, because there are other people who might be having higher scores than you. That's when we say for some master's program, they will tell you that if you don't have a second class upper, that's if you are coming from Africa, don't even bother applying, because you are having more first class people applying to that program, or if you second class upper people applying to that program. So if you have a second class lower and you are applying, you might be just at the bottom of all the applications and might not even get a second look. But sometimes people with lower grades tend to get in, because the admission coordinator might be looking for diversity in the class, and based on the SOP that the person wrote, they realize that maybe the person might be successful in that program, and the person got lower grades because of one or two reasons during the program that the person was taking. And also, when it comes to admission into a university, most universities will ask you to have a standardized test results. Sometimes they might even ask for recommendations from your professors or other people to show that you'll be a good candidate for that particular program. And one thing that they will always ask you for is that you have to write a personal statement to show why that program is going to be beneficial to your career. So you realize that when it comes to colleges, admission tends to be less stringent, and also you get to be more flexible when it comes to the kind of documents that they require from you, as opposed to universities where you require one, higher grades, two, personal statements, recommendations from your professors, and sometimes standardized test results. So if your goal is not to go into the academic environment or even go for a research-oriented program, then it might be time for you to maybe look at a college instead of just focusing on university, so that you can get the admission that you need and start your career as quickly as possible. In my case, the course that I attended, even though it was a college in the university, one of the requirements that they asked us to submit was a personal statement, and also they asked to see our degree certificates and also transcripts to make sure that at least your background shows that you are going to be successful in that particular program, because there were a lot of people applying to that program, and as much as they were looking for diversity in the class, they also want to make sure that they have stronger candidates in that particular class, because they need you to contribute to the program. You are not just there to listen to the professor and not contribute. You are there to share your experiences. And in my class, almost everybody who was there at least had 5 years of working experience. Some have as high as even 25 years of working experience to share with, which made the class much more livelier, and we all learned from each other, because we realized that our leadership styles coming from 18 different countries were all different, even though we were all able to achieve the results that we were set out to do. The fourth difference between a college and a university comes down to the career opportunities and also the career pathways that exist for you. One thing that you find out if you decide to attend a college in Canada is that because college programs are designed to provide practical skills and knowledge, most of these programs have strong connections to industry professionals who might be delivering the program, or who might have that connection where they have work integrated in that particular program. So as part of the program, you will have a work component in there. So for instance, if your course is, let's say, 2 years, you might have classwork of maybe a year and a practical work environment of maybe a year. Or some of them will have 1.5 years of classwork and still have 6 months of what we call practical work. That's why sometimes when you are filling your visa application form, they will ask you, is work a component of your program? And this allows you to at least work with people who are in that particular industry that you are trying to get into. So as part of the classwork, you're able to get hands-on experience whilst you are still in school. And the good thing about this is it helps to increase your employability, because one, if you are working with these people, you're able to show them what you can offer the company. For instance, if you attach a company to go and learn from them, and you go in there, you perform, most of these companies will end up retaining you after that practical work that you had with them. And even if they don't employ you, that will still go onto your resume as work experience that you can show other employers that you've done the work before. On the other hand, universities provide you with a foundation that opens a wide range of at least career opportunities for you, be it in the academia or even in the research environment. And you can still build on this foundation in the near future, depending on which other industry that you want to at least go into. And the good thing is, because universities offer you more of a broader discipline to at least learn from, you have the flexibility of being able to at least divert after that particular program, because what they are teaching you is not more too specialized in a particular area. So you can, for instance, be doing one particular course in business, but they might still be teaching you some aspect of, let's say, project management, marketing, and all that. And later you can pick one of those ones to build on. That's why most universities will allow you to have a major and a minor, compared to a college where you pick one area and that is where you are trying to specialize in. And when it comes to career prospects and also career opportunities, one other benefit that universities used to offer in the past was a stronger alumni network, which allows you to network with people who have at least studied the program that you are in or attended the university that you are in, which makes it easier for you to get work, employment post-graduation. But now most colleges are also beginning to build that strong alumni network that allows you to at least connect with people who have studied the program that you are currently studying, or even people who have attended the university that you are currently in. And it makes it easy for them to now at least bring you into those companies that they are currently working in, because they know what the university has to offer and they would like to see you succeed, so that they can say that, oh, this person went into my college, or that person went into my university. So now that we've looked at all these differences, one particular question that most people tend to ask is, which one is the best option for me? And I'll say, based on the points that at least I've listed down, there are a few things that you need to look at when it comes to your decision to choose a college or university, because there's no silver bullet out there for everything. The point is, what might work for one person might not work for the other person. There are a few things that you need to look at before you make a decision on what you want to do, whether you want to attend a college or university. The first thing that I would say you need to look at is your career goals. This is going to be very important to help you decide whether you have to go to the university route or the college route, because that will guide you in your decision making. If your goal is at least to be in the academia and the theoretical environment, then the university might be an area for you. But if your goal is more specialized and more specific, you know exactly what you want to do, then my advice would be that try and pick the college route. So if your goal is more specific, head straight to the college route. But if you want to get a broader aspect of the knowledge, then you can pick the university. Secondly is the program specialization. This is going to be very important when it comes to whether you want to go to college or university, the kind of program that you want to study. Because whatever program that you decide to choose to study, you will need to make sure that it aligns with your career goals and aspirations. Thirdly, I would say your learning style can also affect whether you go to a college or a university. And when it comes to learning styles, I'm talking about how you expect to be taught, how you learn as a person, the class size, the teaching methods, the learning environment. All of those ones can go into whether you decide whether you want to go to a college or university. But in all this, one thing that I always say is know why you want to travel out and head over to Canada, why you are even choosing to go to school. If your goal is not to study and you are just using the studying route as just a means to immigrate, then please make things as easy as possible for yourself. Don't go and pick a program that you have no knowledge of just because you can get admission into it. You get to Canada only to realize that the course is not as easy as you thought, and you cannot just skip class to go and work, because you are going to fail, and when you fail, it might end up affecting your immigration status. I hope in this video I've been able to at least break down a few differences between a college and a university when it comes to making your decision at this point in the year to pick a school that you want to attend. If you have any questions that you need answers, feel free to drop them in the comment section. I make sure to check my comment section so that at least maybe I can make a video on it. This year, one thing I'm going to do is to try as much as possible to respond to some of the questions that people are asking, so that we can all learn from each other. If you got value out of this video, kindly hit the like button so that YouTube will see value in this video and share it with other people. And also don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you can join this family for us to learn together. And feel free to share this video with your family and friends who have dreams or plans of coming to Canada to study, so that we can all learn together. Until the next video, cheers.